Ladies and gentlemen, FEMA is as useless as always after a disaster. I don't even know why this organization is still around, but okay. This came out in Think Progress, November 21st, 2018. FEMA won't enact a major housing program that could help California wildfire survivors because FEMA is full of shit. Let's get on with the story. These folks are in tents now, and many are in shelters, and this is the condition they are in from having a house and a car and living life to this. The Trump administration has still not enacted a federal disaster relief program that could provide essential housing assistance to people displaced by the California fires. And federal officials are refusing to say whether they have any plans to do so in the future. And parts of the state hit hardest by California's most deadly and destructive wildfires that have displaced hundreds of thousands of people. Emergency shelters have become full, and available hotel rooms for people receiving federal emergency management agency disaster assistance are scarce, according to the Washington Post. FEMA told Think Progress in an email that as of Tuesday morning, only 49 families, 120 individuals, have checked into hotels through FEMA, Transitional Sheltering Assistance Program, TSA. The TSA program pays for hotel sheltering for people displaced in emergencies. But there are other programs available to FEMA. The agency has thus far refused to enact a Department of Housing and Urban Development administered program that would provide essential housing relief to those people in desperate need of stable housing. The Disaster Housing Assistance Program, created in wake of Hurricane Katrina, provides housing subsidies and it goes to the survivors and evacuees, and covers the cost of rent, security deposits, and utilities. So they're refusing to do this, ladies and gentlemen. FEMA's such a good help, aren't they? See, I knew from Hurricane Sandy, these folks were full of shit. And they still are. They haven't changed. When asked if the plans to enact the program, FEMA Press Secretary Lizzie Litzow told Think Progress in a statement that the agency is still assessing the situation and continue to, oh boy, in other words, they're not doing nothing. They're just talking shit. Now, you got to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. They didn't do this for the Hurricane Maria victims in Puerto Rico. They did not do this for any of the fire disaster victims, even from last year. They didn't do it. There were major fires last year in California, and they did nothing. And now you also have the survivors of Hurricane Michael. Okay, FEMA is full of shit. They just are. Advocates say help is needed now, and DHAP should be activated. Families in California will need temporary homes from which to build, say Diane Yentl, CEO and president of the National Low Income Housing Coalition, in a statement to Think Progress. The DHAP program is a far more cost-effective and more humane solution. Unfortunately, FEMA has consistently refused to put this best practice into action, resulting in predictable, and preventable homelessness for some survivors. They don't care. Okay? They don't care. Look, if you see that they didn't do this for all of the other disasters, what makes you think they're going to do it for this one? Remember, Trump went in California and complained about, oh, these fires are preventable, talking all that stuff. So a lot of people in California are angry with him. FEMA has refused to enact DHAP for any declared disaster since Trump has taken office. It has previously been enacted following Katrina, Rita, Gustav, Ike, and Sandy. Now, one thing they did during Sandy, the people that were displaced that lived along the shore areas, they put them in hotels. They did do that. But many of those folks did not get their homes rebuilt. Okay, they didn't. The insurance company would not cover, although they had an active policy. Many of the insurance companies wouldn't pay out. So a lot of the people that were in Sandy just had to move on and find other housing. But they did keep them in hotels for a while. The federal agency has called the program inefficient and not cost effective, and more costly and difficult for evacuees than some other programs FEMA offers. Previously, former FEMA Secretary Brock Long incorrectly claimed 2011 Inspector General report showed the program was ineffective. An analysis by the National Low Income Housing Coalition found DHAP is actually much more cost effective than putting a person up in a hotel through the through the TSA program in 2017, providing direct rent assistance to a household costs $8,223 per year, $685 per month. Meanwhile, hotel accommodations under government rates are $43,000 a year. Oh my God. Meanwhile, hotel accommodations under government contracted rates is over $43,000 per year, or around $3,600 per month, the advocacy group found. That is outrageous. In total, the federal government would have saved an estimated $142 million by offering DHAP assistance to more than 6,000 families in TSA hotels for 8 months. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I stated before, and I will tell you this again and again, FEMA is full of shit. Okay? And the California fire is not the only disaster they refuse to help. In the aftermath of Hurricane Maria, FEMA refused to enact the DHAP program, then later stopped funding the hotel rooms for more than 1,000 displaced Puerto Rico residents there. So they were footing the bill for 1,000 people and then cut them off. Relying on the program a year after they became displaced, FEMA gave below market rate short-term rental subsidies to people who relocate to the U.S., in other words, come to mainland U.S., and denied a larger number of people repairs to their homes, leaving many in the state of homelessness. And see, that's how FEMA left Puerto Rico, y'all. They left them homeless. And I'm sure it was the same case in the U.S. Virgin Islands because they never talk about them. But see, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. I told you FEMA is useless, and they are. But tell me what you think. They're not going to help these people get into new housing. So right now, many of them are scattered in indoor shelters, and there's a bunch of them in these different small tent cities that they have set up. And this is terrible. But that's FEMA for you, y'all. That's FEMA for you. I don't know why anybody fears FEMA. FEMA is full of shit. That is probably one of the most inadequate organizations I've ever seen in my life. And I got to see that up close and in person during Hurricane Sandy because they were nowhere to be found around here. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I will see you on the next video. Peace, family.
You're right.